Hi guys, it's Miss Reed. We're back for a very short section and I'm only going to cover this one once, although it does appear in booklet 1 and booklet 2. So this one is actually worth a fair number of marks, even though it's just multiple choice questions. I spoke about this in the last video, that it's not easy to tell. If you looked at this, it's not just 1 point. It's not easy to tell what these questions are valued at. So section B is a writing section. However, it is only multiple choice questions. As I said before, this is in booklet 1 and 2, so I'm just going to cover it in this video here. In the second booklet, just work through it and maybe refer back to this video if you need to. So this is the editing multiple choice questions. So there are a few different formats for this. There's generally an organizational question. Where might this sentence best fit, or is there a sentence that does not fit that should be removed? Multiple choice though. One sample would be that neither, nor, either, or, some of those sort of common usage phrases. Another one might be where to punctuate a sentence correctly. If there's quotation marks or a question mark that might be used, or what the punctuation is doing in the sentence. And then question number 4, this one is any number of things. It'll ask you which sentence is correct. So obviously 3 out of 4 are wrong, so you're going to choose the best one. So these questions are not easy to prepare for because this is standard usage in English. So what I want you to do is think about where you may have seen or heard this before, and I'd like you to go through and eliminate the obvious wrong answers. So what I find on the literacy test is that there's one that you know is just absolutely wrong, so cross that one off right away. There's a second one that I refer to as the distractor. You think it might be wrong, you're not totally sure, eliminate that one as well. And then you'll be left with 2 possible responses, and I want you to decide between those 2. I would suggest, if you're preparing at home, to read these out loud and then listen for the correct response. You can often hear that if read out loud. So question 4, which sentence is correct? My father is feeling better for 2 weeks. I don't remember how long I've had my car. I will be going on a bike ride when I changed my mind. I promised Michael that I would pick him up at 10 p.m. So we've got any number of errors here, subject-verb agreement, you've got some verb tense issues, and I think you can hear them when you read them out loud. So if you're preparing at home, and when you're preparing at home ideally, I would read these out loud and think about what sounds good. Eliminate what's wrong and then move forward. So again, I put the multiple choice response answers here, and keep in mind on test day you'll see A, B, C, D, and then E, F, H, J. And I don't know why they've changed those responses, but that happened in 2015. So there you have it. Score your work after answering the questions, obviously, and then what I'd like you to do is go back and figure out what the rule is that you have misunderstood. It's easy enough to look at grammarly.com or just by Googling it. So take a moment and actually look at those questions that you did not answer correctly, and then see what you could have done, or if there's any extra grammar activities that you could do. Now, this happens again in booklet number 2, and that is section G. So again, I'm just going to refer to this one, and in booklet 2 I'm not going to address this. So you'll notice in booklet 2 videos that I've skipped a section, but I'm actually just covering it here. That occurs in your booklets on page 67. So I would recommend that you go ahead, answer these questions now, pause the video, and then take them up. So I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, I'm assuming that you've paused your video, you've answered the questions by reading it out loud on your own and thinking about where you've seen it before. So again, multiple choice. Which option is the best concluding sentence for this paragraph? So these are in the same or similar order from section 1. You've got a structural question to start off. Question 2, use the sentence that is written correctly. That's like question 4 from the first one. So you're just going to read these out loud and listen for the one that sounds a bit off. 3, choose the option that best combines the following sentences. So again, this is sort of like question 1 when you're thinking about logical structure and order. So you may have a main idea, some details, and a concluding sentence. Or something may build on the sentence that came before it. So I want you to think about that as well. And the fourth one, choose the sentence that is written correctly. So you can see we're seeing this one often. Read it out loud, eliminate, and then choose between the two that make the most sense. I've given some more information in part 2 on the editing questions. So, organizational questions, paragraph format questions, grammar questions, punctuation questions, and then word meaning questions. We don't see the word meaning questions that often here, but it may come up, and it does come up in the reading comprehension passages. So go over these. I've given some sample questions that I've seen over the years in the literacy booklets. So go ahead and practice these, and you may want to work with a friend or partner in one of your classes and figure out which is the rule that applies. So keep working at it, guys. Check your answers, and then if you need extra practice, always check out EQAO. Thank you.